Hey everyone, my name is Noble Absinthe, and welcome back to my final episode in my Samurai Jack retrospective. Well, at least chronologically. Episode 61, titled 101. Let's get started. We start this episode off with the various people Jack has helped on his adventure, learning of his capture on worldwide television. Aku has televised the original opening for Samurai Jack. And man, Mako's voice, it really does bring back memories. The intro only goes to the part where Aku throws him into the past, and this is where our new Aku jumps in to rub in his victory to the entire world. And now that he's succeeded in making this a public spectacle, it's now time for Jack to die. But Aku is a bumbling buffoon, and can't decide on a weapon. During this time, Jack tries to reason with Ashi. We then see her inside some kind of hammer space, struggling so hard to escape, but ultimately failing. Aku then decides to have Ashi perform the task. Jack begs her for her real self to break free, but before Ashi can land the killing blow, boom, we get ourselves our army of awesomeness to show up, and after seeing it, you just want to cry. It's just so beautiful. A great amount of people that Jack has helped on his adventures are doing everything they can to save our hero. While Aku is distracted, Jack makes a run for the sword, but is cut off by Ashi. Aku then asserts his dominance by crushing a few archers and woolies and making them into a small army of Aku. The army of awesomeness that we have is now getting destroyed, which is to be expected. But they are doing their job. They're keeping Aku busy for Jack to get his sword. If only Ashi would get out of the way. Now the Scotsman makes his entrance with his daughters, and with the power of the pipes, does some damage to Aku and Ashi. The two best buddies reunite, and the Scotsman even offers Jack one of his daughters. But, Jack's taken.
I don't think she's your type, lad.
That is some fridge logic right there. Anyway, we get more Aku distracting from a giant samurai mech. This is like the gift that keeps on giving, but Aku has had enough. He reassimilates all his soldiers and decides to take this situation seriously. The Scotsman proves again to be the most useful ally Jack has ever made. Rest in peace, Robo Samurai. You shall be missed. I mean, he did rip off Aku's ear things. Honestly, for considering, damage, he did the most. Anyway, Jack gets captured by Ashi and he tries to have her fight off Aku. Jack says that he loves Ashi, directly this time, not just a strong general statement, and with the power of love, Ashi breaks free. Call this a cheesy scene if you want, or a cheesy rationale, but I'm okay with it. Ashi breaks free and she still retains all of Aku's powers. She defends Jack, gets back the sword, and the two of them go back to the past. Well, that was very fast and efficient. It's at this very moment Aku knew he fucked up.
Oh no.
We then return to the past and Jack gets right down to work by just wrecking Aku's shit. He cuts him down to size and is temporarily sealed inside the sword. Jack then finishes the job by banishing the evil from the world forever. But how do we know this for 100% fact? Well, for one, Ashi felt his presence leave her, and the other fact comes in later in the episode. Just trust me, Aku is gone forever. We then transition to see all the people who've trained Jack to be a proud warrior, all the way back in episode 1, and it seems like they're all here to celebrate Jack and Ashi's wedding day. Before Ashi and Jack can start their life together, and hell, before the ceremony can even begin, she falls to the floor. She's going to fade away from the world because Aku no longer exists. She comes from the future that Aku wins. Jack and her changed the past, so now she should never have existed. I brought this argument up a while ago in my retrospective series, and it turns out we're doing linear time travel. You could make an argument about why she should still be alive and whatnot, but at the end of the day, she's gone. We then slide over to Jack in his regular attire in the forest. He sits down and a ladybug lands on his hand. He remembers Ashi and lets it go, and embraces a world free of Aku. And the series comes to a close. This episode was very bittersweet, and while it's not how I would end the series, at least it's over, and at the end of it, I thought it was just spectacular. I'm sure the internet is going to argue to death about multiverse theory, the grandfather theory for linear time travel, and all this stuff because time travel is complicated bullshit that we can't be 100% sure of. But, I'm not going to focus on any of that stuff. Instead, I'm going to focus on what I got out of this episode. I got to see my childhood come back for one last hurrah. So many memories came back when I saw that army. We got a lot of great fighting, Jack and the Scotsman reuniting, and while the return to the past was so quick, and Jack didn't even get to say goodbye to anyone, we got to see Aku finally get defeated. It's been a decade. Ashi's passing away made me experience some fridge horror. I noticed that she had longer hair when she was getting dolled up. I can only assume she and Jack got to date for a few months or maybe a year until she disappeared. Slaying Aku slowly but surely erased the future that Jack was a part of. That means everyone we know was erased. Again, I brought this up before, and I'm not going to argue time travel, but we didn't have many options. The final scene is where the series wants us to be mentally. Jack knows Ashi will live on in his heart, and that he ultimately did the right thing. The world is freed from evil, and now he can live on with his life. When I originally watched Samurai Jack as a kid, all I wanted him to do was go back to the past and kill Aku. Now that he has, and we see the ending, I was wondering what it would be like if he stayed and defeated Aku in the future and lived his life with Ashi. Again, Ashi only dies because past Aku is dead, not future Aku. The thesis of this show is for Jack to get to the past, but now that he has, it leaves a bitter aftertaste. Jack is a hero of the future. He's accomplished so much, and what sucks is that all those people he saved, they couldn't even display their gratitude to Jack or even talk to him before he leaves. I also got to thinking about an overall bigger moral for the story. Not many times in life are you given a second chance. I can tell you personally that there's so many things in my past where I wish I can go back in time and slap past Wyatt in the face and tell him to do this or that. But then I think about all the things I have and if I would still have them if I made different choices. I think we all think about that from, time to time. Like, what if I tried harder in school? What if I didn't break up with that person? What if I chased after that dream? The list can go on. Jack was able to go back in time and slay Aku, and be reunited with the various people who not only trained him to become a powerful warrior, but was his family. However, the future also gave us new people who trained him, and were also his family. I haven't read the comics yet, but I believe someone posted that there is an alternative ending where Jack stays to make the future a better place. So, if that is actually a thing, then there you go. We have two endings for the series that can only satisfy 90% of the audience who wanted that ending. Because there's still missing components. There's no perfect ending for the series. It's funny, Jack is a person who was able to achieve a dream men shouldn't dream about. You shouldn't be obsessed with the past and instead try to move forward. But Jack is physically in the past, living for the future. Who knows, maybe he's still immortal and we'll see another Ashi in the future. I don't think endings should be made to appease an audience, but rather be made to finish a vision by a creator. Jack saved the world, but at what cost? How many times in the series has Jack foregone going back to just go back here? Ultimately, it helped. We had an army, but the situation could have played out differently. Jack could have just kept wandering, then sliced Aku apart in the future, and then, quickly gone back to the past. But the creators wanted Jack to meet all these people, to show us another world, the world of the future. If you didn't like the ending for the series, then you can cut the episode right here at this scene where Jack and Ashi are hugging, and then let your imagination fill in the rest for the series. All I can say is this: it's been an amazing ride. Samurai Jack will always hold a special place in my heart. I love the art style, the characters, the locations, the lessons, and every small detail in between. It may have taken forever for the journey to come to a close, but I'm happy that it's over. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to play some Zelda. The similarities are just uncanny. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like my voice, please feel free to subscribe and tick that chime next to it to stay updated for future content. Likes and shares are always appreciated, and I do read every comment. I just want to let everyone know that voting is still up for your favorite Samurai Jack episode, and that I'll still be doing my retrospective series for seasons 2 to 4. I may also revisit season 5 after a while for a fully comprehensive review, now that it's all over. I've also been thinking of doing reviews for other cartoons and maybe some game reviews too, so any suggestions would be nice. This channel is as much mine as it is yours. With that being said, thank you again, and rest in peace, Ashi.